Hey everybody, Tim McCamus back in the shop with some new products tonight. So this has been something we've been working on for quite a while. There's a lot of engineering goes into some of this stuff, so it takes some time to get all of the work done and the drawings done and the models done and the machining done. But over the past couple of years, you guys have probably heard about there's been a lot of chatter about 11-inch ring and pinion. This started out with a couple different varieties, and over the past year and a half or so, I guess, there's been some versions of housings come out that will accept an 11-inch ring gear. So at first, we weren't having any problems with the 10-inch stuff, but we decided it was time to upgrade a few things and make a change to the housings that we've been doing for a long time. We started out doing these modular housings years and years ago, using a Mark Williams aluminum center, and they were very successful. And then back in 2010, we decided to design a billet center for the housing, just because we needed to get some different 4-link centers and things that were, as these cars got smaller, the tires get in farther, and we couldn't just get the 4-link in tight enough without doing a billet center section. So that housing would accept a 10-inch gear easily, and it was very successful, and we still run that housing today. But since there's been some interest in the 11-inch, we decided to go ahead and do a redesign on our billet center and put that gear in this housing. So, of course, it's not an easy task because it was a complete redesign. Everything inside the 4-link brackets was rebuilt from scratch to accept this gear. So we're very fortunate to be able to work with some really, really talented people. And the guy that machines our billet centers, his name is Roy Simmons. He works out in Colorado, and he's part of the V-Gains conglomerate of companies out there. He kind of heads up their R&D department, but he is just a master with a 5-axis CNC machine. So the quality of the machining that he does is just unbelievable. He actually was the guy behind designing the center section here, which has been used in Pro Stock for a couple of years because they were getting horrible ring gear life out. Even the 500-inch cars weren't getting any ring gear life. So he decided to fix that problem by doing a dropout center that would hold a 11-inch gear. Of course, it required another housing because there's just not enough room to fit it in there. But this center section is what he started with, and they were initially all put in sheet metal type housing. So a Pro Stock car will have like a 4130 sheet metal built rear housing, which had to be redesigned also. So he made the face plates for those housings out of chrome moly material, and then completed the design on these center sections. So as you can see, this stuff is the machine work on it is just incredible. So what made us kind of get motivated with this is we had some customers that had some interest in it, but I was looking at some of these other options that were available out there that were these kind of morphadited dump truck looking housings that were just not, I thought they were atrocious for the job they were doing. Plus, we wanted to stick with a dropout center so it was easy to change ring and pinion out at the track. If you want to change your gear ratio, piece of cake, just drop this thing out, slide another one in. Same procedure you've always done. These other housings, they're complete disassembly. I mean, they're built where everything loads from the side, and it is not something you're doing between rounds, I can tell you that. There's a massive amount of work that goes into changing the ring and pinion. So this, we wanted to stick with a proven format, which is kind of, this thing's loosely based on the 9-inch Ford from years ago. And even some of this bolt pattern that's still existing, except for this top and bottom, is still that same pattern. So we wanted to make this where it was easy to swap out ratios just like it's always been, because you can't be stuck with one rear ratio. You need to be able, just like your transmission, you want to change the ratios in it, you need to be able to change the ratios in these housings quickly. And especially if you have damage to a pinion or a ring gear, I mean, you cannot spend 3 or 4 hours disassembling the whole rear end housing to try to swap this out. So we wanted to stick with that proven format that we knew was good. And so I talked to Roy, who was already doing our housings for the 10-inch gear, and I said, hey, we want we want to adapt this over to the 11-inch, which of course he was all over it because it was a good complement to the third member that he was already making. So there's a lot of people involved in this. Roy he does the machine work on this center, but it's the 11-inch gear is actually made by a company called Gleason. These are assembled by Indy Gear. They do a fabulous job. I mean, the stuff, these things are smooth as silk to turn over. The ring gear actually measures 11 1/4, so it's big. And you can see how this thing, if you kind of used to looking at a regular 9-inch bolt pattern, you can see where this thing is morphed up here in the top and bottom to allow clearance, and you can actually might see it a little better here where it's kind of blown up to get that ring gear in there. You can see this is actually notched into this cross member a little bit. We wanted to retain everything that we had, so it was a simple changeover. We've got a lot of these housings out there, so we wanted it to be where if a customer wanted to go this route, we could save everything from the 4-link brackets out and just replace this center part and remanufacture and modify these upper and lower cross members. All this stuff fits right back in the car just like it did. There's several things that make this better, and obviously the diameter of the ring gear is good because the bigger you can get that ring gear, the more durable it is. One of the changes was the pinion has been moved up. So the pinion has been moved up in the ring gear to get it closer. It gets closer to the center of the ring gear diameter, which makes a lot of changes to the tooth pattern and the way it contacts, the load that's on it. It just makes the whole layout of the gear assembly that much better. And Gleason has this crazy finish process that they do on their gears that makes them just slick as hell. So this is the center. This is one of the extras for this. So these are ready to drop in the car, but this customer's got a couple extra different ratios here set up in center sections. So you can see the massive size of this ring gear. I mean, it is just big, and you can kind of see where it would used to go if it would be a 10-inch, but this assembly is everything on it is smooth as glass, and when you spin this thing over, I mean, it is quiet and nice and smooth. It's unbelievable. So we're going to get more life out of these things. We're going to get less load, less drag. So we're looking to get better ETs, more speed. I mean, there's just all kinds of advantages to it. It still uses a lot of the same components. So this is going to use a Mark Williams spool. It's going to use a Mark Williams pinion support. These are set up with 1480 yokes. So these are Mark Williams yokes. It uses a lot of the internal components, but the re-engineering of this is what is really the most benefit, is moving this pinion around and getting this ring gear diameter larger. So this is an unbelievable outfit, and we're looking to get some really long gear life out of this. So if you have any questions, you can call us anytime, but these are done. This stuff's ready to go. It all fits up perfectly. If you have one of these existing rear end housings, we can retrofit this in it, or we can build one completely from scratch with any combination of 4-link brackets you could imagine. Still using all the Mark Williams end bells, the floater components, all that stuff, the Mark Williams axles. So it's a super durable, really nice setup that's going to be around for a long time. I think that all of our guys did a great job. Everybody worked together on this. We worked all of the kinks and bugs out of it. If you get a chance to see one of these haven't been polished. This is the way they come out of the machine. It's almost absurd how good the machine work is on it. So there's been no finishing to this. This has just been cleaned up right out of the machine. You can barely see the cutter marks in it. I mean, only enough to where it actually gives it kind of a grain to the aluminum, but the machine work is phenomenal. And everything mates together perfectly because we got the same guy doing this and this. The center sections match exactly to the rear end housing, so everything fits in perfect. It slides together nice. Really nice stuff. I mean, way nicer than anything I've seen out on the market. So if you have some interest in this, you can give us a call. Our sales guys will be glad to talk to you about it. They can work you through any questions you may have. But check it out. Let me know what you think. I think this is going to be a really nice product, and we're really excited to get it out at the racetrack. So Any questions, give us a call. You guys be safe, and we'll see you later.